What's going on, guys? Billy here, and today we're going to be following up on a previous video that I uploaded here to my channel, which was a complete guide on how to capture better real estate aerial photography. We're going to take some of those same principles and in this video apply them to how to capture better real estate aerial video. With video becoming so popular and major social media platforms prioritizing this form of media, homes that are going up for sale are typically marketed using video in some capacity to help the real estate agent and homeowner find a buyer. This video is used in coordination with the listing photos, so as a real estate photographer, it's wise to offer some form of video as a service to help your client diversify the methods they can use to showcase a property and so that you can make a little more money. Now, here's the thing with video. I think that there's a lot more room to be creative than there is with, say, the photos that you take of a home, just because there's so many different ways that you could actually create this video. Like, it's very subjective in terms of what's a good video and what's a bad video because of all the different things that you can do. In my previous video that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the complete guide for capturing better aerial photography for real estate, I literally shared a cookie cutter template of how you can properly capture a solid set of aerial photographs of a home, because the same angles will get you great results 99% of the time. The same goes for the interior pictures too. I'm just trying to show off all of the rooms and deliver a quality set of images each time. Now, this is not to say that you can't get creative with your real estate photography. I mean, there's always different things that you can be doing to kind of help set your set of images apart from others offering the same service in your area. You could do detail shots, you could capture different angles, but again, I still think that there's a lot more room to be creative with the different styles of videos that you can capture and create when it comes to real estate. So for example, these are some of the different styles of videos that I create on the weekly for my clients. So sometimes I'll do an aerial only video where it's literally just drone footage put into one video, and that's the deliverable showing off the grounds. You could also do a vertical reel style video, as I call it. So these are posted to like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or TikTok. They're usually quick vertical highlight videos showing off the best parts of the home. You could also do a traditional walkthrough video. These are like the types of videos that have been around forever, where you just show off all the rooms in the home, you walk through, you pan, you show everything about the house. These again are super long, 3 to 4 minutes. I haven't been doing much of them just because again, they're kind of old and dated. You could also have the agent go on camera and speak to the audience, or if they don't feel comfortable going on camera, you could have them narrate as you kind of show off different parts of the property. You could also do just a quick highlight video. So instead of making it vertical, you can make it horizontal for uploading to, say, Facebook or YouTube. And finally, a trend right now that's kind of been going around for the past year, I'd say, is FPV fly-through. So again, there's a lot of different styles that you could kind of use, that you could do to be more creative when capturing these real estate videos. So getting back on track here, a major part of creating these videos is utilizing a drone to capture the exterior of the home. You've been watching some aerial clips from videos that I've created over the past few years that have helped agents market some of the nicest homes in my area. Some of these are taken from videos of properties where my client literally just wanted aerial video, and some of them are just bits and pieces of videos where I actually also included video of the inside of the home and where the real estate agent was actually on camera talking about the property. Despite how it may seem, an aerial only video is actually a really good way to show off a home that's for sale, especially when it's some of these monster properties that have been included in this little reel. Like if you have a 300-acre farm that you're trying to capture, using a drone is really the only effective way of showing the scale of the property, but it's still a great way to capture the minor details. With that said, now I want to get into the nitty-gritty of how to capture better aerial shots for your real estate video, whether you're delivering an aerial only video, as I mentioned earlier, or if you're just using the drone to capture bits and pieces for a much larger video where the agent's going on camera and you're showing the inside of the property. Regardless, these tips are going to help you out. If you want to learn even more about real estate photography and videography, I would highly recommend checking out the real estate photo and video course that I just finished up, offered on Pilot Institute's website. Along with Ken Dono, I helped produce this entire course that walks you through how to get started in the business, from the gear you need to the best shooting style, how to edit, how to manage your files, literally everything that you need to know from top to bottom. Along with this course, Pilot Institute also has a great catalog of content, like their best-selling Part 107 course to help you pass your exam for a commercial drone license, a general photo and video masterclass to help you improve your shooting skills, and there's a plethora of free content to help you learn how to make the most of your drone. They often run really great sales, like the current Black Friday pricing, so be sure to click the link in the description if you're interested in learning more about how to become a better real estate photographer and videographer, or if you just want to check out all the great content that they have to offer. So much like my guide on capturing better real estate aerial photography, the first step is just determining if the property is generally right for actually using the drone to capture aerial video. Although 9 times out of 10, if you're making a video for a property, it's probably on the nicer side and you're probably going to be able to use the drone in some capacity. Even if you plan on capturing a walkthrough video showcasing the whole property both inside and out, sometimes just a simple establishing shot with the drone is all that you need. Like literally one clip, and that's perfectly fine because it still adds that diversity in your shots and grabs the attention of the viewer. Most of the homes that I shoot video on are usually nicer anyways, which means that they'll show well from the air. Like usually the smaller homes that I photograph don't end up adding on video. Now, I already know that one of the biggest questions that I'm going to receive down the comment section below is which drone should I buy? Which drone is the best drone for capturing video for my real estate videos? To which I respond, the Mavic 3 is by far the best option, but really you can get away with using any drone that's been released over the past 4 to 5 years because they're going to give you great results. Like the original Mavic Pro here, for example, is pushing 6 years old, and this is still going to give you great results for the video that you're creating. With that said, like I mentioned in my guide on aerial photography, my 3 go-to drones right now are DJI's Mavic 3, Air 2S, and their Mini 3 Pro. The reason I use these drones are for the features that just make them easier to fly. They each have great flight time, great range, they can handle the wind really well, and of course, they take beautiful video. All of this makes my daily job easier, so it's worth the investment. But if you're a photographer or videographer that's looking to add aerial photos or videos to your offerings for the first time, you'd be able to go with something more affordable like the Mini SE or even the Mini 2 from DJI and get great results. You've already seen plenty of video captured from each of these drones here in this video, but just to share a few more, they all look great with good dynamic range and awesome colors. It's easy to get caught up on buying the best gear, but as far as a drone is concerned, just getting one that is relatively newer is going to do you just fine. You also have to realize that these videos are getting compressed when uploaded to social media websites, and especially when being shared through the MLS system that real estate agents use to input property information. A lot of them require super small file sizes, which means you have to compress the videos down even more to meet their requirements. Another piece of information that I want to pull from that previous video, the full guide for real estate aerial photography, is how to get the property ready on the outside. And while I don't have a checklist, like I don't walk around and say, hey, I want to make sure that this is done and this is done, I've made one for the sake of this video just to kind of keep it in the back of your mind. So for example, I like to have all the people inside, the homeowner as well as the real estate agent or anybody else that's there. I want to pull all the cars out of the driveway, put them on the street, or put them inside of the garage. I want to tuck away the trash cans if possible, put them in the garage or also put them on the street, put the patio cushions in place in the backyard, put up the umbrellas just so that it kind of looks like the home is being used and it looks a little more presentable. And then if applicable, remove the pool cleaner from the pool and also open up the hot tub again if the home that you're capturing, the home that you're shooting actually has those features. Also, you want to check your airspace, get any clearance that you have to, make sure you're not near an airport. And finally, scan the area for obstructions because the last thing that you'd want to do is crash your drone on a client shoot. That would kind of be embarrassing. But yeah, so those are the things that I kind of follow to make sure the outside is ready to go, because the more prepared you are and the more ready the outside looks, the better the video that you capture is going to look. Now, getting into the fun part, let's talk about the shooting process, which is kind of hard to pinpoint because remember, there are so many different types of videos that you can create. Some might require just one shot from the drone, kind of as like an establishing shot to show off the property. You might also have a video that requires a handful of clips from the drone mixed in with other video that you've taken from the inside and the outside of the property. Or you might also be delivering an aerial only video where you literally only deliver video from the drone edited together in one video, in which case you need a good amount of shots from your drone to make it a substantial video. So with that said, what I want to do is share with you a shot list of some of the different ideas that I like to take into a shoot to make sure that I get all the aerial video clips that I need to make a great video. Okay, so I like to first start off by fully orbiting the front and back side of the property. So I like to go up high, say 300-400 feet, show all 4 corners of the lot, and just orbit nice and slow. And from here, you could be a little bit creative. You could add some text onto the video, show off the actual like address or show off where it's located. So this is good, again, to kind of establish what the entire lot looks like from the front as well as from the back. From here, while I have my drone up high in the air, I like to try and get some proximity shots if applicable. So if you've got a home that's near the city or near a shopping center, I like to try to get the drone up to show the property and other features in the area, just to make sure that anybody that's purchasing the home knows that there's other things nearby that they can travel to make the most of that property that they're buying. Now, getting down closer to the home, one of my favorite shots to capture is a reveal of the front facade of the actual home itself. So I try and fill the frame with the house house, I like to find like a tree or maybe, some landscape feature that I can fly the drone up and around to reveal the front of the home. I feel like it's really powerful, kind of showing off the home for the very first time up and close. It kind of draws that viewer in. From there, I'll then do some low angle front facade tight shots as well, just to kind of mix it up and showcase the front of the house in different ways. And I like to try and fly my drone a little bit lower to the ground to make it seem like I'm using a ground camera, but it's actually the drone. So again, whether it's orbiting from left to right or panning from left to right or lifting up and around, I like to try and just show off the front of the home 2 more times in some way. But again, you could get 3 or 4 shots in this way as well. It just depends on what video you're trying to create. But again, I like to try and get that low angle front facade shot. And then I do the same thing, but on the back side of the home. So I like to do a reveal of the back facade, again, up and around a landscape feature or a tree. And then I also like to go down low and get some more shots of the back of the home. Typically, the back of the home is not impressive as the front of the home, so I don't go too crazy trying to capture the actual backside of the facade of the home. But again, just showing one shot to show off what it looks like is definitely a good thing to capture. Now from here, since we've showed off the front and the backside of the home itself fairly extensively, we can now focus on the backyard. And the first shot I like to get is a reveal of the backyard. You can see a theme here. I like these reveals with the drone. So whether it's coming up and over the roof or around the side of the home, I like to reveal what's back there, whether it's a big yard, whether it's a patio, whether it's a pool, so that people can understand like, hey, we've got a really nice home here and these are the features that come with the home, the exterior landscape features. So for example, if you've got like a patio, I like to kind of do a nice orbit around the patio or maybe fly down and towards the patio. And of course, if there's a pool, I like to show that off as much as possible by revealing around trees or flying down close to the pool itself. I like to get really close and almost make it seem like I'm filming with my camera on the ground because again, it just kind of draws that viewer in and gives them a closer look at those features of the property. And you can see here I have backyard feature X4 or ×4. I like to try and get 4 shots of the backyard feature if I can. Maybe it might be 6, maybe it might only be 2, but again, you want to make sure you get multiple shots from different angles to show off the main portion of the backyard being that feature, whatever it may be. And then finally, I like to end my clip with a pullback and then kind of fade up to the sky. That's kind of like my, I guess, signature look, if you will, but it kind of closes out the video and lets people know that, hey, we're flying away from the home, we're going away, we're looking up, and then that allows me to fade to like an outro card or the agent's contact information. So hopefully that list gives you a good understanding of the shots that you need to capture better compositions for your real estate aerial video, whether you're creating an entire aerial video of only footage from your drone or you're mixing in a couple of shots for another video you're creating. These are the compositions that I like to follow when I'm capturing aerial video on my real estate shoots. Now, I will say that there's going to be a lot of subjectivity here because you're going to have a lot of different properties that look very different from each other. They've got different features and different things that make them stand out. For example, you might have a property that has a really badass garage. You might have a property that has an awesome backyard with a pool, a tennis court, and a basketball court. Or you might have a property that has a really great front yard with a large driveway, a front wraparound porch. So again, use your discretion, use your knowledge of, what is important about a house to capture the best video possible and the best angles possible. Now with that, I want to go through a quick section of quick tips on how to capture better video from your drone, whether it's for real estate, whether it's for construction, whether it's for personal. These are going to be tips that you can use to just generally capture better video. So the first tip that is probably the most important is to get into your drone settings and change the flight settings. So your gain and expo settings, as well as your gimbal settings, like the pitch speed and smoothness. If you noticed, most of my clips were super slow and smooth, which I'm able to easily accomplish by adjusting these settings accordingly. The second tip is to pinch your sticks with your thumbs to get better control over the drone. I use a hybrid method where I pinch the right stick to control the drone's movement, and then I use my thumb on the left stick to control the height and rotation of the drone. Adjusting your grip will give you much better control over your drone. The third tip is to introduce 3 levels of movement into the video that you capture. What I mean by this is, as you're, say, flying towards the home, try to increase the height of the drone while flying forwards and pitching the gimbal and camera down. This will make the video that you shoot even more dynamic with all of the motion that you're creating in this one shot. All right, so now it's time to tie everything together with the final piece of the puzzle, and that is the editing process. And I'm not going to sit here and edit a full video from start to finish from scratch. That would just take entirely too long. We'd be here for like 30-40 minutes. So instead, I'm going to show you a video I've already edited and give you some of my philosophy behind what I've done here. So really quickly, I'm going to put the video up on the screen with no music whatsoever. This was a project that was actually part of a much larger project. So we actually did a full video here with the agent on camera, the outside, the inside, photography. So everything was done on this home, but I'm just showing you a small portion. This is like the short reel reel that I made for the real estate agent. Not only did I deliver like a horizontal quick reel for them, but also a vertical reel. So I actually took this video and then just chopped off the sides and made it a vertical video. But regardless, I think it came out really good. I used the song Streets by Doja Cat. It's just a trending song to kind of put up there on Instagram for an Instagram reel. So I'll put the link to the final video in the description if you want to watch it with music. But for the sake of copyright, I'm probably not going to share the music here in this video. So we'll go ahead and actually mute our audio. So basically, my philosophy when editing a real estate video is start with the sound, start with the music, lay that in your main track there or your main layer within your timeline, and then go ahead and mark off areas where you can actually have the camera cut. So along my audio here, you'll see that I have cuts because that's where the beat switch is, and that's where I actually want to make my cuts. That's where I want my clips to change, right? So with every beat switch, it's a different clip, it's a different clip, it's moving fast. So really, my progression for an aerial video or for any video in general when it comes to real estate is start from the front, work your way through, and end your way in the back. Now, because this is aerial video only, we started far from the home, we worked our way close, we ended up in the backyard, and then we kind of, because it's a reel, we ended up with just a shot of the back facade or the entire back of the home itself. But you'll notice, like as we go through our video here, it starts far away from the home, right? We have kind of like that orbit shot of the entire property. We then have that shot that's kind of a reveal of the front facade. Then we bring it back and show off more of the property because I think it's just so epic how much room they have in the front of this home with this big circle. So this again shows like the grandiosity of the entire property itself. We then move to this awesome shot, probably my favorite, a low angle kind of reveal of the front facade, but also showing that there's a gate. So we kind of move through the front. Then from there, we have this shot revealing the front facade with the Rolls Royce there in the front. That was a pretty cool touch. And then we move on to the backyard. So we kind of have this top-down view. I loved the symmetry of everything here, from the umbrellas to the pool itself to the little cabana in the backyard. So I wanted to show off that symmetry by kind of doing this top-down shot. Then we go and we actually reveal the backyard, show it a little bit more, then show it a little bit closer, then show it a little bit closer, and then finally we show the whole thing, and that's the end. So again, my philosophy is kind of like to bring people from the outside, bring them in close, and then bring them back, and that's kind of like a natural progression in my opinion. So again, you'll see through here, if you look up in my library, I have a bunch of clips I didn't even end up using, right? Things like, you know, a reveal of the back here, kind of revealing around some of the different furniture. We've got shots of the fountains shooting up, right? We've got shots of the cabana itself. We actually go in, I think, closer to the cabana. If we go, yeah, look, so I was actually flying close to the cabana. So there's a lot of shots that I used here that I didn't actually end up using in the video, and it's always good to overshoot to make sure that you have all of that extra footage as a just in case. Like if I had a shot I know I wanted to use and it didn't end up working, it's great that I could go and pull from a previous shot that I ended up capturing, but you know, I had kind of as a backup. So again, my philosophy when editing is to lay the music down, lay your markers, fill your clips in between those shots, watch it, see how it feels, move clips around, and again, kind of go for that natural progression of starting far away from the home, moving in, and then at the end, move them back out. Again, it kind of feels like you're going into the home and then leaving the home, and I think that that is a really good feeling when it comes to real estate video. Also, by the way, all of this footage was shot with the Mini 3 Pro, and this was like a $3.2 million listing in Morristown, New Jersey. So just know that it, again, doesn't matter what drone you buy. You could go and buy the Mavic 3 Cine for $5,000 and get great looking video, or you could buy an $900 Mavic 3 or Mini 3 Pro and get great looking results. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully this kind of rounds out my aerial photo and video series for real estate. I'll put the link to that complete guide for photos in the description if you want to check that out. Again, I think that this is going to give you a really good jump start in capturing your aerial photos and videos for real estate. But if you want to get even more knowledge about the entire thing, the inside, the outside, photo and video, be sure to check out my guide, my course over on Pilot Institute. I'll leave that link in the description as well. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.